$4,500 trust lesson every advisor needs to hear. Have you ever played the game Sorry? You're almost all the way around the board. You're just a few spaces away from making it home. You've spent the entire game building momentum. Then someone pulls a sorry card, just like that, you're sent all the way back to the beginning. I think trust works exactly the same way. As advisors, we spend months, sometimes years, earning the trust of our clients. Every meeting, every phone call, every email, every promise we keep moves us a little farther around the board. But sometimes, one conversation, one missed opportunity, one piece of information we didn't know can send us right back to square one. Today I want to share a real conversation I recently had with an insurance agent because I think there's a lesson in it that applies to every advisor, whether you're in insurance, real estate, financial planning, mortgages, or any business built on trust. We were discussing flood insurance options for one of his clients. During the conversation, he made a statement that immediately caught my attention. He said, "I've always believed the federal flood insurance program was the only option." Now, before we go any further, let me say something important. This wasn't a bad agent. This wasn't someone who didn't care about his clients. Actually, it was the exact opposite. He genuinely wanted to help people. He simply didn't know there were additional options available. And honestly, every one of us has been there. No matter what industry you're in, there are things you don't know yet. Markets change, products change, technology changes, customer expectations change. The question isn't whether you'll have blind spots. The question is what you'll do when you discover one. As we continued reviewing the client's situation, we found a private flood insurance policy that fit this homeowner much better. The difference between the two options? About $4,500. Think about that for a minute. For a lot of families, that's not just savings, that's groceries, that's a family vacation, that's money toward college, that's a car payment, that's real money. But here's the part of the conversation that meant the most to me. The agent didn't become defensive, he didn't make excuses, he didn't say, "Well, nobody ever told me." Instead, he looked at me and simply said, "That mistake will never happen again." I smiled, not because of the savings, but because of what those words represented. Humility, growth, a commitment to becoming better. In that moment, he wasn't just learning about flood insurance, he was protecting every future relationship he was going to have. Because here's what today's customers expect from us. They don't expect us to know everything, but they do expect us to know what's available. Think about how people buy today. Before they ever pick up the phone, they've already searched Google, they've watched YouTube videos, they've asked AI questions, they've read online reviews, they're walking into conversations more informed than ever before. So if they discover an option you never mentioned, they're probably not thinking, "My advisor probably doesn't offer that." Instead, they're wondering, "Why didn't my advisor tell me this existed?" That's when trust starts slipping. And the scary part is, you may not even know it's happening. That's why I believe trusted advisors need to educate themselves beyond the products and services they personally sell. You don't have to offer every solution. You don't have to represent every carrier. You don't have to make money from every recommendation, but you should understand the marketplace. Because our job isn't simply to sell. Our job is to guide. Imagine sitting across from a client and saying, "There are actually 3 common ways people solve this problem. Here's the solution I can provide. Here's another option that exists in the marketplace. And here's why I believe this recommendation is the best fit for your goals." Do what happens when you say that. The client immediately feels like you're looking out for them instead of looking after yourself. That's where trust begins. This is what I call trust momentum. Every conversation either moves trust forward or quietly moves it backward. Then something even more powerful begins to happen. Every honest recommendation, every transparent conversation, every time you educate someone, even when it doesn't directly benefit you, you add another layer, another reason to believe you, another reason to come back, another reason to refer someone else. That's trust stacking. Trust isn't usually won in one big moment. It's built through dozens and hundreds of small moments that compound over time. Eventually, your clients stop asking, "Can I trust this person?" Instead, they ask, "What do you recommend?" That's one of the highest compliments an advisor can receive. There's one more idea I want to leave you with. Think back to the game Sorry. When you get sent back to the beginning, you don't quit. You learn from it. You keep playing. You move around the board again. The same thing is true in business. You're going to have moments where you realize you missed something. Maybe you didn't know about a solution. Maybe you overlooked a process. Maybe your client teaches you something. Don't let your pride stop your progress. Instead, do exactly what that insurance agent did. Say, "That mistake will never happen again. Because every lesson you learn today becomes another opportunity to build trust tomorrow. The truth is, the $4,500 wasn't my favorite part of this story. My favorite part was watching an experienced advisor choose growth over ego. That's what trusted advisors do. They're lifelong students, they're curious, they're transparent, and they make sure every client benefits from what they learned yesterday. Because trust isn't built by pretending to know everything. Trust is built by continually learning so you can guide people with confidence. That's how trust gains momentum. That's how trust stacks over time, and that's how you become the advisor people recommend long before they ever need your help again. If you found this helpful, subscribe to The Trusted Agent. Every week we'll break down real conversations, real client stories, and practical strategies to help you build trust that compounds over time. Because in today's marketplace, trust isn't just part of your business. It's your greatest competitive advantage. I'll see you in the next video.